Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the live webinar, Rio Tinto's Journey to Digital Contractor Management, Driving On-Site Safety and Efficiency. I'm Alex Shwedzky, Digital Media Coordinator for Annex Business Media, as well as your moderator for this session. Before we get started here, I just want to extend a big thank you to Alcumus for sponsoring today's webinar. Before I pass it over to our speakers today, I'd like to take a moment to go over a few housekeeping items. Firstly, this webinar is being recorded, so for any reason you have to leave early or you miss part of the presentation, a link to the recording will be emailed to all registrants shortly. Secondly, the audience is in listen-only mode, so cameras and microphones will be turned off for you. However, questions can and should be submitted to the Q&A folder at the bottom right of your screen, and all questions will be saved for the end of today's presentation. Now let's introduce your speakers for today. Nick Trepanier. Nick's journey with Rio Tinto started in May 1994 as a brakeman. Over the years, he demonstrated exceptional dedication and expertise, eventually transitioning to roles of increasing responsibility within the organization. Next, we have Christine Canuel, Contractor Management Advisor, who will be presenting alongside Nick today. And finally, I'd like to introduce Heather Black, Vice President of Marketing, and she will be moderating this session as well. Now I'd like to pass it over to Nick, Christine, and Heather for their presentation today. Team, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alex. I am very excited to be here today. We are very fortunate to have Nick and Christine on the line with us. Nick is one of the most passionate people that I know about health and safety. Not only has he gone about building a strong foundation for health and safety within Rio Tinto IOC, he is an extremely forthcoming gentleman and a phenomenal coach and mentor for everyone looking at building a health and safety practice for their organization. He really sets the benchmark, and we are so thrilled to have him and Christine here today with us. So thank you, Nick, for joining, and I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about your experiences. You've had quite the run of time at Rio Tinto IOC.
Thank you, Heather. Yes, I start from Rio Tinto. Rio Tinto IOC, we're the leading North America production premium iron ore pellets and high-grade operation, including a mine where is in Labrador with 5 operator concentrator, and pelletizing plant location is in Labrador, and we have 418 kilometers of railway that we bring the ore to Sept-Îles, and we have at Sept-Îles is the port facilities for IOC. It's been 30 years this year that I'm working for IOC. I started, like Alex said, as a brakeman, turned as an engineer, locomotive engineer, supervisor of the engineer. After that, superintendent of the railway. And when they opened the contractor management department, I came to start that department. Right now, I'm talking only for Sept-Îles Port, really the port side. Is the department start 15 years ago. Right now, we're talking about 200 contractors who's coming on site, and during the peak season is really the peak season during the maintenance of the railway. We're going up to 400 contractors on site.
That starts in May and ends in September?
September, October, so around that, the maintenance of the railway. That's our peak. Before we were doing our due diligence directly in the field. So the contractor was coming in, checking his assurance, checking if they have all the training for the task that they were doing. So that's when I start. So we need to do some change there because it was too heavy on us. And to manage the HSE part for the task that they were doing, it was against heavy on us. Everything was done in the field. So, and we had some challenge about the lost time too that the contractor had before they were starting the work. So there was some big issue that we need to manage and find some solution for that.
I'm pretty excited to dig into some of these challenges. We've taken the time to kind of list out 4 pillars that you introduced in the past 15 years and have you talk about, you know, some of the under the hood details that are going on with each one of these, because there's some interesting learnings. So I'll jump to the next slide and you can start talking about the first one.
Yeah, we're trying to prioritize, that's for sure. There was a lot of issue. The department was brand new, so we have a lot of issue when we prioritize. First of all, we didn't have some procedure to measure the performance of a contractor. Some contractor, they love to know if they're doing right their job or not doing that right, and they all want to improve. And I'm saying contractor, we must set partner. It's really our partner, because not having contractor, that if we didn't have them, it would be hard to put the ore in a boat there. So, and the stability of their performance was not there. Even if they don't know that they're doing something wrong, how they can improve. So we want them to improve and grow up with us too. So what we did, we developed with the Safe Contractor the P module, and each contractor, we divide our contractor in 4 categories. We spelled it tiers 1, tiers 2, 3, and 4. Tiers 1 and tiers 2 means 80% of those contractor, 80% of the hours on site.
Hours worked on site.
Exactly. So we are close to them. We do an evaluation each year with them. Evaluation is not done in the corner of the table. We discuss with each department that they're working with and how it goes, what was the issue and all that. So, and we discuss with the management, not only the people in the field, we discuss with the management where it needs to be improved, what was good and all that. And with Safe Contractor, they are available during the year to see their evaluation, where the point that they need to improve and all that. So it was an add-on for them. And after that, we develop internally 2 kind of role and procedure. We spelled it the RACI, role, who's accountable, who needs to be informed. And it was not pretty clear what's the contract owner versus the designated leader versus the contractor management. What's their role in giving a contract and who needs to manage? So, and even the contractor, what is his role in that contract? So we developed a kind of RACI, and everybody know his role, and we explained the role to everybody at IUC, even the contractor, what was his role. And on the evaluation, it was pretty clear too, who talked to us about some issue or what was good. So they were available to know what was the impact of their job too. So
the impact of the evaluation also, we use it, procurement uses it when going out for tender. It gives us an idea of how they've been working on site, and because we do have a lot of contractors around, but it's always turning around the same ones, right? So one year we could go with one contractor, but the next year we might go with another. But the year after that, we might come back to the same one. But at least we've got that historic, the history of it, of how they performed, and if they weren't good back then on the HSE side, well, okay, did they improve over the years? Because they'll come back and do a few jobs, whatnot, and we do evaluate them on that too. So we can see the history of how they perform.
And
And
just
I was
like
gonna
Kristen,
ask- oh, sorry, go ahead.
Said, our tiers 1 and 2 always change every year. So we evaluate every year how many hours they did, and maybe that one is not in the top contractor that is doing 80 hours. So we manage a new contractor most every year. I would say 70% is staying there, but there's a 30% that change. So
And let me ask you, because one of the things I like that you said at the beginning there, Nick, where the contractors, they don't know what they don't know. So you
no,
evaluate
exactly.
them and now they know how they performed or didn't perform. So did you see a performance improvement when they came back the next time?
Yes, the performance improved, and I would say plus the relation with the
Oh,
contractor improve, because it's not only the supervisor that we bring at the evaluation, it's really the management of that contractor. Everybody is around the table, even their HSA people, the accountabilities over there. We bring everybody, and they are aware of what they did, because on that evaluation, there's a portion to invoice too. So that's why their accountability is over there too. And no, there's a big improve. Plus, I would say it's really the connection now that we're having with the contractor. Say I was saying partner, it's really like that now.
so it's a lot of work to set it up, but the reward is pretty strong.
Exactly. Only one evaluation for one contractor takes 2 weeks. So right now, 80% I'm saying I got 16 contractor. So I'm starting in December to be ready beginning of February to present that to the contractor.
That's amazing. I love that. I'm going to jump to the next one, digital work permits. I think this one's pretty cool. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, us the way it works. Yes, we're creating a task in Alchemist, but a contractor, when he goes on one area, they need a work permit. Any contractor needs a work permit to start to work. And we have the site is really huge. Over here, we're talking about 8 miles long by 3 wide, 3 miles wide. So it's a huge site. So if a contractor is working at mile 7 and the supervisor who signed that permit was at mile 8, it's half an hour to come back only to sign that work permit. So he was saying to the contractor, come back in 1 hour before I get to the office. And after 1 hour, he was still not at the office there. So we were losing a lot of time. Plus, we have the railway. It's 418 kilometers. It's really hard to come back or use a chopper only to sign a permit. So there was a lot of lost time. We're talking about million over there of lost time. So we create electronic work permit with Alchemist, where and we have access to a Wi-Fi all along the railway, plus in Sept-Îles too. So it was easier to create an electronic permit where you can approve directly by email, and the guy was available to print his permit and start to work. So instead of hours and sometimes half a day before the permit gets signed, we're talking about 10 minutes.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
there was a
Productivity's
lot.
through the roof. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it was
Yeah.
there. And we're talking about paperwork. That permit, it's 2 sheets. It's 3 sheets. 1 sheet was given to the contractors, and we keep the 2 others. So there was a lot of expense instead of having permit signed electronic and only printed. So we did a lot of saving, and a contractor could not start working until that permit is signed. So could you imagine there was a lot of lost time there?
So what about, you had this paper-based work permit. You'd been using that for years. What
Yeah.
was it like getting that digitized? Was it the same permit? I mean, how did that work?
We work with the Alchemist, and I said to them, I need, when you're gonna print it, it needs to be the same. And most of those data was already in the task. So inside the task, we developed the work permit, and most of those questions, the contractor, our partner answer it in the task. We transfer some data from the task, so he was available to print it after that. But when you print it, it's looking like it's that paper there.
Wow,
The
that's
same.
amazing. So you have the in office, Christine, you're looking at that. It's all up to date. All the information is live in the field. It's live, it's accessible. They can only start work once it's fully approved and fully vetted. So you're guaranteed that they've met the requirements that you've set.
Yes, exactly. Plus, that work permit is signed by the supervisor of the contractor, the supervisor who managed the contract, and the supervisor of the area. Could you imagine waiting for those three people being available at the same time? Now, electronic, you receive an email, hey, that guy approved that permit. Can you approve it? It's on your area.
But even then, the contract, the permit is only available 24 hours before the task starts. And I'm pretty sure that we've seen it. Somebody approved the permit 3, 4, 5 days before and said, hey, you're starting work on this that day. Here you are, all your paperwork. Don't come back and see me. I don't want to see you. But something changed on site. So normally the permit wouldn't have been good.
Yeah. See, we asked Alchemist to put a 24 hours because the risk could change. Approve a permit on Friday and start Monday. Monday, the risk may be changed. So we said not more than 24 hours, the permit can be approved. So we were available to put some rules, but in paper, we were not available to control that part. So
That's interesting. That's another layer of detail I wasn't aware of before. That's pretty cool. Excellent. Excellent. Let's talk about the weekly incident reviews. This is new. This is something new that you guys have implemented.
yeah, like I said, the evaluation, we were getting close to our partner, but we want to go farther. How can we get really as a partner? And Rio Tinto, we got the CMX, Contractor Management Excellence. So, and we said we should have a meet with them once a week, 15 minutes, not more than that. And if I'm taking more than 15 minutes, they are allowed to go. But I would say nobody left. And we need to share all the accidents that happen all around the world with Rio Tinto. So as you can see, that's the board I got behind me. So we share our orange banner that it's a kind of accident that could kill somebody, but didn't kill there. And the red banner is really after the investigation of that accident and all that. So we share the orange banner and the red banner with them. And they use it after that to have a safety meeting with their own people to share all those accidents that happen at Rio Tinto. And it's not only sharing accident, is really where contractor management goes. Where is the objective for them, like create a new area for temporary facilities, for trailers and all that, modification of a road or anything that can happen at IOC, we share with them. Right now, we're working on communication with with IOC unionized people, how goes the communication with there, if there's some issue in the field and all that. See, we want to be really transparent with them. So, and we go to the accident that they had the week before. What was the control you make to fix the issue that could happen with a bad accident and all that? So we share all together any accident that happened on our side, but even on other side of Rio Tinto.
And how are you finding that's impacting their on-site behaviors?
I would say most of the time is the accident that happened in other business. See, we always said, it's not happening over here. Yeah, but heavy equipment is a heavy equipment. It doesn't change if you are in Africa than over here in North America. So we were available to share what happened and share the action that they put in place that maybe on the task that they're doing every day that could help them. So,
and they share what they did on their end, and by saying, well, why didn't they do it this way? Or and there's interesting conversations going on, and there's a lot of sharing. At the beginning, it wasn't that way. They were a lot more closed off, but as time went by, they're getting a lot. Well, they're very open now.
yeah.
And when there are issues or whatnot, they talk to us about it during the meetings, but they also talk between themselves, because sometimes one partner can go help another one. It's brought light to contractor management, but there's a lot of sharing and how do we say, co-work?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
No, that we start those meetings. I will say at first I was talking maybe 100% of the time. That's those 15 minutes. Right now, less than 50. It's
Wow.
them they're talking. They share with us, and now I receive call that they saw some issue in the field. They advise me even on the weekend, Nick. So some of the contractors was not working well, was not safe, and all that. So, and we didn't have that sharing before, but now, no, it's really getting better.
And I like it too, because you're really, you hear about a lot of companies talking about health and safety and how it's important and why we need to be paying attention. But at Rio Tinto IOC, you're putting your money where your mouth is. Like, you're really investing in it. You're taking the time. You really are building that partnership of safety. It's not just, we have these policies, you do these things. You're really bridging them together.
Yes, exactly. If
I love
we
that.
want them to apply our procedure, they need to be involved in it too.
Yeah, we when we do have changes or whatnot, we talk to them about it. We talk about the reason, and they're not left in the dark, or just by getting it like shoved down their throats.
No.
Here, you've got to do that. They've got a say in it. We talk about it. Everybody has their own opinion on something, and sometimes they've got great ideas, which we bring back with us, and it helps everyone out too.
Nice, very nice.
It's
And
really easy to implement a procedure when the contractor he help us and he has his word to say on it. It's easy after that, really easy. Then arrive like Kristen said, and putting the spoon in their mouth, and that's it. You won't win that way.
good advice. Good advice. So centralized policies, why did you need to centralize this? I'm sure you were communicating with your contractors already what the policies and the procedures were. What was going on here?
Like I said, we manage a lot the tiers 1 and tiers 2. That means 80% of the hours, but we still have the 3 and 4 that represent 20% of our hours on site. And writing email to each one was getting heavy on us. So I said, we need a SharePoint where we can put some communication or even all the procedure that we got. So the best, we were using the billboard of Alchemist. So all our procedure is over there. If I have a communication, I put it over there, and it's easy to see who read it and who didn't read it. So they have no excuse to say, oh, I was not aware. No, you read it. So one point of communication, one point of all our procedure. So it was easy to manage. I always work to have only one program. Having Word file or Excel file on the side, pretty soon you get lost in your computer because there's too many files. So by the time I arrive at the contractor management and start that department, I always said to my team, only one place.
Simplify it. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple and don't do file for nothing. So when we put everything on the billboard, is really simple, and the only thing I had to communicate on my meeting I got every day, hey guys, I got only one point of communication, and it's the billboard. At the beginning, I have maybe 10% who was reading it, but they seen that I was not communicating at all. I said, no, it's the billboard. And I was keeping that road there. And now I'm not saying 100%, but I would say around 90, 80 to 90% of the contractors. So when they arrive and I didn't know it, did you read your billboard? It's your fault.
Yeah, and there's some documents that we put on every week, and if we don't put it on, we've got
We got
partners calling us up. When are you going to put it up? When are you going to put it up? So we know that they're using it.
That's great adoption. I love that. Yeah. It's also a good way, I guess, to keep it up to date, right? Because if it's in an email, it can get out of date.
Yeah, well, it can also get lost.
That too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and every supervisor of a contractor need to have access to the billboard. He has no choice. If it's coming on site, he needs to have, because maybe I'm doing a work on the road and I need to pass another way. So he needs to be aware. If I change some procedure from Rio Tinto, he needs to be aware. So there's no way that they can tell me I was not aware of that. No. It was in the billboard. So you read your billboard. So at least we have every week a communication, because all my meeting I'm having, I'm putting it on the billboard. So they have to go every week, so they will be aware of all the change that we're doing.
Keep up to date.
Yes.
So I love it. You've gone from, it's been 15 years, you've gone from not really very much process in place. You've been very strategic about different ways to roll out and keep everybody on track, keep it going, and really building up the benchmark. I love some of the creativity that you've shown. I love that weekly review meeting of all the incidents. I think that's really creative and really unique. But talk to us about what's coming forward. What are you thinking of? What's next in Nick's mind?
Like I said, having only one point of managing contractor, taking out all the files, having the risk analysis in our task. And where we live, we are not the only one big company around. We got ArcelorMittal and all that. And everybody is managing the contractor differently. And yes, there's some difference, but right now I'm sitting all with them. I start that because there's some saving to have over there. Like an example, a training that I accept on my side, who's not accept on the other company. So I'm trying to have a join with them and accept all the training. The qualification of a contractor will be the same. It's been 2 years I'm working on that part. There's a lot of saving, but there's a lot too of HSA issue, because right now, if I have an issue with one employee, we're not talking about contractor, we're talking about an employee, and I receive the feedback from the contractor who said, oh, it's not that bad. I will send him to ArcelorMittal as an example. Geez, if he was bad on my side, he will be bad. He will kill somebody on other side. So it's not acceptable from my point of view. So right now I'm trying to share, because HSA problem, it's not competition in HSA. It's really to share it, depending on each company there. So I'm trying to go ahead with that and sharing our evaluation too. If we want really a contractor improve, if we have the same evaluation as ArcelorMittal or Alouette and us, we have no choice that the contractor will climb with us there. That's what we is our attempt, and they will reach it. So right
So
now, I think it's what I'm looking forward there.
I just wanted to maybe double click a little bit on the risk analysis piece. Can you explain a little bit more what's in your mind on that one?
Because right now, our partner, every time they're doing a task, they need to have a risk analysis. We're gonna share. We're gonna do a startup meeting with the employee of our partner, and I want to have it instead of putting a document and it's been different from each partner. The risk analysis is different. We want to have one model of risk analysis that everybody is going to use and is going to be directly in our task. So there will be no different from any kind of partner or any kind of task. So, and it will be easier for our partner to see the risk on the task. If it's not sure, it will be available to go on the task and take out the risk analysis that we did for that task. Because sometimes it's the supervisor, but it's just like us. He needs some vacation. And it's a brand new supervisor is going to take his place. He's not sure of the task. He's not sure of the risk. So he will be available to go on the task and take out that document and be aware.
Nice. I like that. That's really smart. That's really smart. Well, this has been really great. I think we probably have a few questions coming up now. Alex, do you want to jump back in? Do we have any questions coming on the line?
Yeah, that was great. Thanks so much to Nick, Heather, and Christine for that awesome presentation. Let's take some questions from the audience now. Awesome. Well, thanks, everybody. We do have some questions. Nick, if you want to turn your camera back on now, we have some questions for you here. And yeah, we'll just jump right in.
A second, Alex.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, that was great, guys. We'll just jump right into questions here. The first one I'm seeing from the audience is they're curious to know who manages the system, and they're assuming it's H&S.
The system we're talking about, Alcumus there, Safe Contractors.
Yes.
It's really the Department of Contractor Management there.
Okay, perfect.
It's us. We take care of contractor management. It's us who give the what we need to qualify a partner to Safe Contractor, and
it's really us there.
Perfect. Awesome.
We got the support from HSA department, but it's us.
Awesome. Got another one here in the Q&A section. What KPIs are you currently using for your contractor evaluation?
Really, it's our evaluation is divided by 5 specific, like HSA, if the contract was on time, if they find some TCO, some saving and all that. And they have a series of questions. Each question give you some point. So we decide, okay, as an example on HSA, that question, I want to give it 5 points. So you're the one who decide the ponderation of each question. And really at the end, it's going to give you a score. So, and like I said, it's divided by 5 specific. So even if we go in tender, we want to know if that partner is good on HSA, you go on the evaluation, then you will have only the section of HSA. Okay, he was good at 80% or 90%. And we work with the HSA department to create those questions and create the ponderation too.
Perfect. Awesome. This is a follow-up for the first question I asked. But who is on the team for the contractor management? Who helps manage those contracts?
Us, we don't manage contract. We manage the procedure. That's a little bit different. We have constructor, the department of the engineering who's managing the contract in the field. Us, we support. We said the coordinator of construction, CCs. We support those CCs. We support our partner just to be sure that they're following all the procedure, but we're not managing contract at all there.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Got another one here. Is the software that you have provided by a contractor?
Yes. There's some program that we use. Most of it is Safe Contractor. So yes, if a supervisor needs to manage a contract that we have on our side, he needs to be having available to log on to a Safe Contractor. So he has no choice because I can select him. Even if he doesn't have access, I could not select him in the task. So right away, I know that if you have access or not. So really, we use only Safe Contractor. And if I'm missing some tools, I will work with Safe Contractor to build those tools in Safe Contractors.
Beautiful.
So if I may lean into that as well. So Safe Contractor is a software platform that Rio Tinto IOC invested in to help them manage all the contractors. And then on the flip side, the contractor as well has access to Safe Contractor, so they can submit all their documentation, and those two things kind of match up together so that IOC can then have visibility into who's in the system.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Got another one here. It says, how do you define tier 1 and tier 2 contractors?
Okay, every year we take out all the hours was done on site, and after that we calculate and we divide, and I put the line at 80%. So I know that I have to manage all those contractors. And like I said, it's different every year. This year I have 16 contractor that goes in my 80%, but the year before I had 12 only. So it's different every year. Depends on how many hours they did on site, and it's been calculated by the gate system there. Oh, Alex, your microphone is
Sorry about that. Got another one here in the Q&A, and it says, how do you address site-specific issues like WMIS, hazards, and key risks that are not generic but are site-specific?
but not normally. You have, before you start the work, we always have a meeting with our partner and build the risk analysis of that task. So, And plus with the task, when you select an area or a kind of task that you're gonna do, there's a matrix behind it, and it's gonna generate the training that they will need to do those tasks. So that's the way we're doing it. So by creating the risk analysis, and after that, our partner needs to build a GHA, a job hazard analyst. So it's really building all the risks step by step. So it's the way we're managing all the risk, and even now with the law of the government, they have no choice to have the training of dangerous good and all that. So it's not an issue, but we ask them to have their card that they yes they follow that course in Safe Contractors. It's all managed, most of that with Safe Contractor now.
Perfect.
And us, we have the link to gate. So when I create the task and they need that training and he doesn't have it, he won't be available to pass the gate. So we'll be blocked at the gate.
Perfect.
There's a training missing, so you're not allowed to come on site.
Awesome. And that's a perfect segue into the next question here, which is how successful has the link to gate been?
Oh, it saved us a lot of time there, because before the contractor, our partner was coming on site. When we arrived on the area that they were working, we were checking if they have all the training. Show me your paper that you follow that working at eye training or dangerous good training and all that. Now it's all linked to gate. So it's check automatic. When they pass their card and there's one training missing, the gate won't open. So you stay outside.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Got another one here. It says, to better understand tasks, how detailed do they need to be?
The task is really what, okay, first you will select the area, the area that you're working, because the dock, it's under Transport Canada, and the site, it's under the government of Quebec. So there's different law. So when you select a task at you working at the dock, there's some specific training that you need to have. So it's really behind, we have a matrix and it's generate the training that it goes with it. And after that, after you select the area, it will be what kind of task that you're doing. Is it welding? If you have welding, that some training is going to be generate about a case of fire, how to manipulate an extinguisher and all that. And after that, the tools that you're going to use for your task. If you need a fuel truck, yes, you will need to show us the permit of the dangerous good for that truck, and the permit that the guy's having. So it's really the task and the matrix that we got behind.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Got another one here. This is a follow-up to the previous KPI question. Do you use any proactive KPIs, not just how many incidents there were in the past?
No, like I said, it's really divided in 5 points. HAC, it's 1 point. The bills that they're doing, if was it okay or not. So it's generate some scores, and that's the way we manage the KPIs. But plus our tiers 1 and 2, they got objective every year. So even the evaluation is based on the objective that we give them. As an example, we have the CRM at Rio Tinto. They need to do 20 CRM each month. So, and they're doing that on their cell phone. So it's going on the database, and we generate each month. They're supposed to do 20. They only did 10, so they didn't reach this month. So they're going to lose some point. And the evaluation is used to when we go in tender. If we have one partner is at, I don't know, 70% every evaluation, maybe he will lose that contract because it's not good enough for us.
Gotcha. Perfect. Got another one here. It says, how many people do you have in your contractor management team, and what are their roles?
Us in Cecil the Port facility, we are 3 person who manage really the procedure. And even me, yes, I'm their boss, but I'm working with them. I'm doing the same job, except when we have some meeting with the high management, it's me, it's going. It's only that. It's really a teamwork, and my team is all teamwork all together. We have some work to do on the week, and at the end of the week, I want it to be done. If they need help, they will tell me, and I will jump in and help them.
Perfect. Awesome. Got another one here. It says, how do you validate that the skill set demonstrated by training completed and licenses produced is shown on site and in their work?
But like I say, the first part is really safe contractor who's going to manage that they have the training and all that. And after that, yes, we have a CC coordinator, construction, who's going to be there, and he's going to check if the training is well done and he follow it. The big issue that we have is control the one who's giving the training, because now, as you know, everybody said, I'm a trainer and you can follow the course with me, but it's not all of them we accept. Is really, we give a list of to safe contractor. Yes, those one who's giving the training, we accept them, but the rest we won't accept. So, and our partner can go in Conibox and have that list. So that's the way we did there.
Awesome. Well, it looks like that's all the questions that we have for today. So unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for the webinar. I wanted to once again extend a thank you to Nick, Christine, and Heather for being here today and helping put on this webinar. Also, a huge thank you to Alchemist for helping put on this webinar and sponsoring. Finally, just wanted to extend a big thank you to the audience for your questions and participation. Watch your inboxes for a link to the recording and resources from today's session. Thanks, everybody. I hope you all have a great and safe day.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Nick. This has
Thanks,
been
Alex.
wonderful.